Vladimir Putin is coming for us and Britain must be prepared for the inevitable, Ben Wallace has warned. The former defense secretary said the tyrant blames the UK, not the US, for being at the heart of Russia's failures. Mr. Wallace, in an alarming admission, said Britain is in Putin's crosshairs, adding that the dictator is not driven by logic. Instead, the former Tory minister warned, the Russian leader is motivated by revenge, legacy and romance. The new head of the army, General Sir Rowley Walker, has previously warned Britain must be ready to fight a major war in 3 years as Russia will seek revenge on the West for aiding Ukraine. Mr. Wallace said Putin and his henchmen, former KGB spies known as Siloviki, do not accept that they were the culprits behind the Soviet Union they inflicted on the Russian people. Mr. Wallace declared, these men at the top of Russia see themselves as rewriting history, by correcting the humiliation they felt at the end of the Cold War and settling scores for hundreds of years. While Russia is doing a very good job of, yet again, humiliating itself through its own actions, we should realize that in Putin's version of history it is Britain, not the US, which is at the heart of Russia's failures. In Putin's warped worldview, we were behind the Crimean War and defeat of the Tsars, we were behind the rise of Hitler, we were behind the counter-revolution and our espionage was behind the end of the Soviet Union. Britain is in Putin's crosshairs. One of the most senior members of the Russian Siloviki recently commented, we know Britain is behind the invasion of Kursk. We weren't. Made no mistake, Putin is coming for us. We must be prepared for the inevitable. General Sir Rowley Walker, Chief of the General Staff, said the army needed to rapidly modernize to double its ability to kill the enemy by 2027 and triple it by the end of the decade. Sir Rowley pointed to a scenario whereby a very, very dangerous Russia emerges from Ukraine, either defeated or as victor. China invades Taiwan and Iran becomes more aggressive. That is why you get to this point by 2027 to 2028, this convergence may have reached some sort of mutual singularity and your ability to deal with them in isolation, a specific crisis that can be managed by the rules-based system, I think is significantly diminished, Sir Rowley said. A problem in one area is likely to trigger a sympathetic detonation in another and therefore it is a global problem looked at from different perspectives around the world. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky insisted he keeps asking Western allies to be able to use long-range weapons on targets deep inside Russia. They don't want to talk about it, and I keep bringing it up, Zelensky quipped. The Olympics are over, but ping-pong is still there. Kyiv has long argued that restrictions on the use of long-range weapons are stifling its war effort, while Western partners believe that allowing Ukraine to hit deep into Russian territory with the weapons they provide could be a cause for escalation. President Zelensky has vowed that Kyiv will respond after the country was struck by another round of Russian strikes overnight.